And we're back. Good morning from downtown beautiful Blue Ridge. It's not raining. It's I don't know what the weather forecast for the rest of the day is, but it's not raining right now. And I am here with our next guest. Have you heard anything about Project Chimps? Have you been hearing, wow, somebody's bringing chimps to Fannin County? Well, our next guest is the CEO, Sarah Baeckler Davis. How are you today?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Let's just get right into it. Project Chimps. What's Project Chimps?
Project Chimps is a new sanctuary for chimpanzees who are being retired from research, and we're located just over the hill there in Morganton on about 236 acres. So
did you hear that Fannin County was a great retirement community just in general? So you thought that the chimpanzees would just love to retire here too? Hey, retire's retiring, right?
Yeah. It actually, so there was a property here called Gorilla Haven for a number of years, and it provided sanctuary for gorillas. And the property was for sale, and so we took advantage of the sort of infrastructure that was already in place, equipped to take care of great apes, and purchased the property when Gorilla Haven stopped functioning.
Okay, Project Chimps. Now, let me just ask you, is Fannin County, our weather, topography, all the above, is it a good place? Did you guys find it as an ideal place for what you want to do?
Yeah. Chimps are very adaptable. So in the U.S., there are actually in the U.S. and Canada, there are sanctuaries in Montreal, Washington State, Florida, Louisiana, Texas. So we're kind of all spread out. There's one in Kentucky also. But they're adaptable, but it is nice weather here for them. Not too hot, not too cold.
Okay, Project Chimps. You guys are going to have an open house tomorrow. How many chimps will be there eventually when you...
We have plans to build for up to 250, which is a big number. It'll take us quite a few years to get up to that point. So we're starting with 9. We'll be in our first
So 9. So if people are hearing 200 chimps, it is on the website that you want to build it up.
Yes. But it'll take quite a while.
But it'll take a while.
Yes.
That's a couple years.
At least, yeah. What we have built currently will probably hold up to 100, maybe 80 to 100. So it'll be lots of construction and busy activity for the next couple of years.
When will the first 9 be there?
They will be here in August.
Be there in August?
Yep.
Retired. Let's go there. What's a chimpanzee do in retirement? They wear loafers and they get the funny hats. Like I have to have fun. You gotta have fun, right? But talk about what does that mean? Where do you get these chimps? What are retired chimps?
Sure. So they're retiring from research. So they've been used their whole lives in scientific research. Some of them in some medical research. And they have lived in, sort of small spaces and been subject to this research their whole lives, and it's over. So there was a decision a couple years ago, kind of at the federal level, that it wasn't okay to use chimps in research anymore, in part because they're so similar to us, and in part because we really haven't learned that much from using them in research. And so there was sort of this decision that it's over. And there are chimps sitting in these labs that have been used that need somewhere to go. So we were able to step in and negotiate an agreement to retire a population of chimps who have been used in research. What retirement will be for them, it's their time to live. So they haven't had a chance yet to make choices about their day, to make friends, do sort of all the things that we do. And
because they've been locked up in cages.
They have.
Now let me see if I can put this together. So what you're telling me is, throughout the years, we have been using these chimpanzees for research. Mm-hmm. We really haven't achieved what we thought we were going to get out of the research. It wasn't this earth-shattering research that we thought would happen. So in saying that, the federal government said, we're just not going to do it anymore. And not all of a sudden, but now you have you have chimpanzees that have been in research, in cages, in labs.
Yep.
And that's what Project Chimps is not all about, but about, right?
Yep, that's our honor and privilege to be able to give them the rest of their lives here.
Now, am I going down the right road that this will give most of them the first opportunity to get up in the morning and say hello to whatever chimp they want to and go out when they want and come back? I'm going down the right way. I mean,
choice is a big part of taking care of captive chimps and giving them choices about who they interact with and what they do and what objects they use, even what foods they eat. It's a big part of taking care of captive chimps. And they do live in groups now, so they have friends and they'll arrive in the groups that they live in. But it will be a whole host of new opportunities for them, and really the first time that they get to make those choices. So we'll give them toys and puzzles and things to do, and give them blankets to make nests and good snacks to work on. Chimps in the wild spend a lot of time foraging for their food. And of course, we could just hand them their food, but we need to keep them busy also. So we'll scatter nuts or seeds or something like that and let them search for them and kind of simulate natural behavior for them as well.
Let me ask you, what are in some of the other Project Chimps that you've opened up, what are some of the concerns in the community that that you have heard in the past that are just deal with some of the concerns that you would hear when people don't understand clearly what's going on?
Sure. We've had largely a really positive response here, and I have worked with sanctuaries all over the country. The sort of number one question that we get sometimes is about safety and how do we make sure they don't escape and keep them safe and also keep the community safe. We are all about redundancy, so there's always at least 2, if not 3, sort of checks and measures to keep them safe and in their enclosures, and then all about preparation as well. So we've done some meetings already with the local emergency responders to make sure we all know what we would be doing if there was an emergency. But I have all my fingers.
So there's an emergency plan.
There is a plan in place.
And you go to you go to our local areas, and you go to the public safety. Mm-hmm. You put the emergency plan in, and you brief them, so everybody's on the same page.
Exactly,
and you use every precaution possible.
Right. So we plan for every possible emergency, but we are proud to say that we have not experienced any. So if you talk to people who work with chimps, you may see that they don't always have all of their fingers, but all of us do. We never put ourselves in a situation where we could get bit, and it starts there. It's their space. We respect their space, and that's sort of the first step of our safety protocols. Is we don't go into their space; they don't come into our space.
Lonnie's telling me I have an email this morning that does it pertain to our discussion, Lonnie?
Yes.
Okay. We have an email that says, I love animals and would love to come see the chimps. Can I do that? There's 2 questions that we have this morning for you. I love the animals and would love to come see the chimps. Can I do that? Can they come see the chimps?
We will have opportunities after they kind of settle in a little bit. We'll give them a chance to kind of acclimate to their new situations, and then we'll have a couple days where we invite the community to come visit. Another really great way to meet them will be to volunteer, and so we'll be starting to take volunteer applications pretty soon on our website.
Second question. If I'm looking to volunteer, do you accept that kind of work?
Yes, we will need lots of help.
You will accept volunteers.
We absolutely will, yeah.
Okay, and you can go right to the Project Chimp website. We will have that on fetchyournews.com, and we are covering the open house tomorrow. So we'll have that up for you also and have more discussion with the entire staff. We'll have everybody be there to answer questions tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
So we'll get to meet everybody with Project Chimp. So those are Chimps.
Yes.
I'll get the S, I promise. I'm here with Sarah Baeckler Davis. She's the CEO of Project Chimps here in Fannin County. I'm excited. I have to tell you, you don't understand. I think somebody stole my question of when are we going to be able to come see the animals?
Yeah.
So you got to make me a deal. I mean, I want a personalized email.
All right.
Okay, BKP, come on over because I want to come over and see the animals. Something else, medically, people get concerned with medical issues when you're bringing animals into a community, like things like that. What are some of the other things that you're well prepared for that our viewers can know that you guys are on top of it all?
Well, in addition to safety, perfect record there. So I've never had any escapes or issues like that. Health-wise, that question comes up sometimes. Do they pose a risk to the community in terms of health? They do not. There's no risk to anyone who will be interacting with them or otherwise. And those are sort of the main questions we get.
I'm excited. Now, how many people will be on staff out there?
We are up to 14 so far. We will be a pretty big employer for the county as
14.
we grow. And we'll have probably 20 or so by the end of the summer, I'd say.
20 or so by the end. Now, sources tell me.
Sounds good.
Sources tell me one will be a year old.
Yes, one of the chimpanzees.
Will be a year old.
Yes, his name is Riker, and he was born at the lab about a year ago.
So he's born at the lab. So we need to figure out how to retire early like he
Yeah,
did.
right.
Huh?
Yep.
So
yeah.
he's going to be one. When will he be here?
He will. I don't have a date for him actually. He was sort of an oopsie baby, so breeding. Yep, it happens.
Happens even in Chimp's world.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's no more breeding on the federal level for chimps because we really don't need them anymore. But things happen, and he came along and is being raised by his mom. So he will be in I'd say one of the first couple groups, but we don't have him slated yet.
What's the average age of these chimpanzees that are coming in?
They range from 1 to 49. Simba is our oldest at 49. And a lot of the oldest chimps were wild caught. So back in the day when chimps were still being imported from Africa to the U.S. So some of those have that story. But it's a fairly young population. 10 to 15 is sort of where you see the most numbers.
And what's the lifespan?
They live to 50 or so in captivity. Simba is a grandpa for sure. The chimps who are in their 40s and 50s. Sometimes the chimps who've been in research have a little bit of a shorter lifespan just because of their sort of pressures on their bodies.
Right.
But also in the wild, there's a lot of pressures on them, so it's a similar lifespan. In zoos and in some sanctuaries, you'll get chimps going up to 60 or so.
Just to recap, there will be times that the public can come and visit and visit the chimps. And now it's real simple. You just type in Project Chimps and you'll find it. It's not hard to find.
Yep.
And your information, your website's very good. You can volunteer right there. You can meet the entire staff.
Yep.
Everything like that. Well, I want to thank you very much for being here.
My pleasure.
How'd you hear about Fannin County? Was it just the Gorilla Haven?
Gorillas, yep.
Yeah, it was the Gorilla Haven.
Yeah, I've been coming here a couple years to look at the property, and I love the area, and it's beautiful. So it worked out very well for all of us.
Well, we look forward to meeting your entire staff. Anything about the project that we didn't cover today that you would like to make sure we know before we leave?
No, just love to encourage people to go look at our website, make a donation if you want to get more involved. It's another good way to help out, and we're happy to host people tomorrow.
What time is the open house?
The open house is from 2 to 4 tomorrow.
2 to 4, the open house. There's a flyer. There's a flyer. We will put that up on our website, FetcherNews.com. We'll put it on our Facebook page this afternoon, blast it out on our Facebook page. Also, follow us on Twitter. We'll put it on Twitter at Fetcher News, and we'll tag Project Chimps in that feed. So just look around the website, FetcherNews.com, in the community section for the flyer for the open house tomorrow. Check us out on Facebook or on Twitter at FetcherNews.com. And folks, I'm excited about it. They're just retired chimpanzees. So you want to come to Fannin County? You want to wear a funny hat, high tube socks, shorts? You want to retire? So does the chimpanzees. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
I'm excited. I really am.
Thank you.
I hope you can see it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming by. Animal Planet. Wait a minute. Animal Planet's coming, right?
Yep.
We'll
have,
what are they? They're touring and
they're coming today for an initial meeting, but
they're going to do a project series on it.
On Animal Planet, yes, about the project.
So they're going to come back several times in the area.
Yep.
So we'll see Animal Planet up here several times to do a series.
Yep, for at least 6 months or so.
Oh, that's great. Okay, I'm your host, BKP. We've been here with Sarah Baeckler Davis. She's the CEO of Project Chimps. Check it out. You want to volunteer? You're welcome to. You can do that. That's the question. Lonnie, take us a break. Now, when we come back, don't forget, we're going to be back right after these messages, and we're going to have Mr. Dale Jackson. He's with Hope United, and we're going to talk about the legislative side. We talked about the personal side We're going to talk about the legislative side of cannabis oil, hemp oil, medical marijuana with Mr. Dale Jackson as soon as we return after these messages. Hey, sun's coming out. It's not just my shirt, Lonnie. Take us a break.